The Mix Matters tool. This app takes everything into account to create a hybrid plan for your farm, starting with your fields, your practices, and your environment. Download the Mix Matters tool to start planning today.
Welcome to this Tool Talk video about Farm Market ID. My name is Jeff Jocelyn, Digital Ag Lead with LG Seeds. We're going to talk about in this video what is Farm Market ID and how and why is it used with the Mix Matters tool. Let's start with what it is. Farm Market ID is a provider of farm and grower data sources from the USDA, geospatial imagery, and other public and private sources. From this data, Farm Market ID offers subscribers, and we're one of those, the ability to locate common land units that are likely connected to one operation. So what that means to the Mix Matters tool is the ability to utilize that to bring in all of a user's fields by selecting just one field to start. This step only takes seconds to do. You might ask, how accurate is Farm ID in selecting all the right fields for a farm operation? Well, it's very accurate, but like all tools, it's not perfect. It'll miss some fields, and it will select a few wrong fields, primarily based upon recent changes in the operations that either have not been reported to Farm Market ID yet, or have not been built into the data that's being provided to the Mix Matters tool. But if we take a look at how we bring in fields from Advantage Acre, from Climate Field View, or My John Deere, that's all done manually and from memory. And I would argue that Farm Market ID is faster and probably more accurate than what we normally create when we do our fields ourselves from scratch in these other platforms. Because it selects fields by common land unit, fields might be made up of several common land units displayed as separate fields. Now, these common land units can be merged into one field in the Mix Matters tool simply by using the merge button. This example shows 4 different common land units here that are actually one field. By using the merge tool button, we can quickly bring those into one field and name that as one field. What about the other side of the scale? What if we combine several fields together that we don't want that way? Well, anything that we bring into the Mix Matters tool that we bring now, that we could also then bring to Advantage Acre, can be edited by the field editing tools in Advantage Acre. In this example, you see all the tools opened up, all the different options we have. The edit dots are there. We can change this boundary to get it under one pivot if we want, and the corners for that one pivot instead of the way that it currently shows. It also means that the tool may choose non-crop fields that we don't want to have in. Now, we can immediately deal with that in the Mix Matters tool, or we can deal with it in Advantage Acre. In the Mix Matters tool, we can delete those fields out, not bring those back in. We can also change that crop if we want to change from corn or soybeans to another crop. And if that other crop would be sorghum or wheat or alfalfa, for example, that we do use the seed plans in the Advantage Acre to build, we can obviously select those crops in the Advantage Acre tool itself. So, if Farm Market ID is not perfect, why use it in the Mix Matters tool? Well, it's for the reasons we've shown. It's because it offers a fast and easy way to add fields from a large farming operation into the Mix Matters tool when that user does not already have those entered into the Advantage Acre account, or at least not all the fields for that operation, and to do so in a truly mobile-friendly format. In this example here, I've tapped on this common land unit on this side of what looks to be a creek or a river or a drainage ditch. And in a matter of just a few seconds, it brought in 40 fields for me, 40 common land units that I could then edit and manage. Now, if I'm only bringing in 10 to 20 fields, it's just going to be a few seconds. If it's 50, 60, 70 fields, it's going to be a few more seconds, but it's still going to happen in seconds, well under a minute. And any other way we have of bringing these fields in is going to take not only just minutes, but likely hours. And that's why we do this. So one more question we haven't thought about yet is, what about crop rotation? Is it tracked and predicted by the Mix Matters tool? It is, and it uses Farm Market ID to do so. So we can see the crop history for the past 2 years in Farm Market ID, and based on that, predict what we think it will be. And that shows up in the Select Crop sections in the Mix Matters tool at the bottom of the field management information, where we have all the individual information we can edit. We'll see the previous 2 years and then a prediction for the current year. Again, as we've talked about already, we can change that current year prediction to a different crop if we choose to do so. So, one question you might ask is, does the Mix Matters tool or Advantage Acre provide any information from the farm or from the grower in terms of data back to Farm Market ID? And the answer is no. And furthermore, LG Seeds and AgriLiant Genetics are in the same situation. They don't provide any farm or grower data back to Farm Market ID. So there you have it. We've walked through Farm Market ID. We know that it gives us, with the Mix Matters tool, it gives users the ability to quickly and easily add large numbers of fields to the Mix Matters tool, and therefore Advantage Acre, while providing crop rotation consideration all fields. Thank you for joining us for this Tool Talk video.
The Mix Matters tool. Choose the right hybrids for your fields in 3 simple steps. Select your fields. Input your agronomic practices. Get a field-by-field plan. Download the Mix Matters tool to find the best hybrids for your fields.